Hello, good day to you wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining in to another series of food safety basics, what you need to know. I'm still your host, Fumilola Oladokun, and welcome. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the encouragement, thank you for the shares, and thank you for the comments. So let's keep the comments coming as we go to another series 5 on food safety basics, what you need to know. And today we'll be discussing something very relevant to life, and we'll be talking about foodborne illness and the vulnerable groups. Do you know one out of 10 people fall ill as a result of consuming contaminated food? Do you know that 30% of this set of people that fall ill are children under the age of 5? So it is just very important for us to know some of these little details so that we can take informed decisions with respect to our food. And so what exactly is foodborne illness? Foodborne illness is just an illness that is contacted, or illness that is caused as a result of eating contaminated food. And you remember in series 2, we talked about the food types, and we talked about the food the types of contaminants. And we said that we have the physical, we have the chemical, we have the microbiological, and we have the allergenic. So any food that is contaminated or that is contaminated with any of this food contaminant is called a contaminated food. And so when that kind of food is eaten, it can cause illness or food poisoning. So that is what we also call food illness in some school of thought is. After the consumption of contaminated food, we have something we call the incubation period or the onset period, which is the period between the time of consumption and the time we begin to feel funny with respect to the contaminated food, which is between 30 minutes to 8 hours. Between 30 minutes to 8 hours, and you are consuming a particular type of food and it begins to react on your body, it means that probably the food is contaminated, and so your body is just trying to react. And some of the symptoms we see are the first symptoms is abdominal pain or abdominal cramp. Immediately the food is consumed, the stomach begins to react to it. So it results into abdominal cramp or abdominal pain. It can also result into nausea, which will eventually lead to vomiting, because vomiting is also part of the ways in which the body wants to expel those contaminants out. So vomiting can also occur, and we also have diarrhea. Diarrhea also can occur when we have consumed this kind of food. And also it is also important for us to know that there are some mild symptoms, and it can also become severe when we vomit for too long, or we have diarrhea and we for too long. It can cause dehydration. So it is just important for us to take note of these basic things and take care of our body. Sometimes, most of the time, especially in a larger part of Africa, most of these foodborne illnesses are treated at home. That is why most of the time we don't have data or information as regards to foodborne illness. But what I have is gotten from WHO, and some of these studies have been done since 2009, 2010, thereabout. And so, according to WHO, we found out that we have over 420,000 deaths a year as a result of foodborne illness. And from the records that we have 12% deaths as a result of foodborne diseases. 34% children under 5 die, and 125,000 of these as a result of typhoid and diarrhea. And we have the remaining 54% deaths caused by diarrhea. So the foodborne illnesses, as much as we can overlook it, we have it can also be divided into short-term and long-term, which are the short-term are the ones I've discussed: the diarrhea, the vomiting, the nausea, the abdominal cramp, while the long term, the cancer, the kidney diseases, the paralysis, the brain damage. But because of our lack of data, which I've said in parts of Africa and the larger part of the world, these diseases can't be traced to the food. So it's just important for the norovirus, the Salmonella, Clostridium perfringens. We have some bacteria, Campylobacter. We have Listeria. We have Escherichia coli or E. coli. We have typhoid. We have some other forms of norovirus, which is a virus. And so it is just be aware of these things and then take care of ourselves with respect to prevention. And we have talked about the 4 basic prevention type, which is the clean, separate, cook, and chill. That was what we did in series 4. So kindly go through if you have not watched our series 4. And so the vulnerable groups, which I talked about, are the kind of people whose immune system have not been fully developed or have been compromised. And so most of the time when they consume this unsafe food, it reacts quickly. Aged people who are above 60 years old, aged people whose immune system are already breaking down. And we have, children, their immune system are also just developing. And we also have the pregnant women who immune system have been metabolism or the immune system are having changes due to the condition of the pregnancy. And also we have the people who are already sick, who are down with a particular form of illness, and so their system, the immune system has already been compromised. So this set of people are the people we call the vulnerable group. So it is just important for us to know whether you have a vulnerable person around you or not. Just make sure that you have the aim of prevention in you, so that we take all the necessary steps we need to take to prevent us getting foodborne illness or food poisoning at the end of the day. So thank you very much for this, and we'll see ourselves in another series. Just remember, foodborne illness prevention is in your hands. To prevent every foodborne illness is in our hands, and in our hands to cook, clean ourselves, to have a high form of hygiene, to separate raw food from contaminated, raw food from ready-to-eat food, to cook our food appropriately and in the right way and in the right temperature, and also to chill, which is keeping our food from the temperature that these food-causing germs can replicate or reproduce. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye for now.